NewsNation correspondent-at-large Geraldo Rivera joins us now, and in case he needs any more street cred,
Elizabeth.
You should know Geraldo's written 2 books on the subject of immigration. So, Geraldo, Carla Jacinto, the woman that Senator Britt was apparently talking about, today criticized Britt for using her life story in a misleading way. She also says Britt got several things wrong in her speech. Jacinto wasn't trafficked by cartels, as Britt said. She was trafficked by a single man. She wasn't trafficked in the U.S., as Britt clearly implied. It happened in Mexico. And most notably, it all happened when President Bush was in office, not President Biden. How did a mistake like that end up in a high-profile speech like this?
Because undocumented immigrants, Elizabeth, are fair game, regardless of the rhetoric, regardless of the underlying crime or whatever it is that happened. There's virtually no mention of the fact that the vast majority of them, even this latest crop that has flooded across the border, the vast majority of them, to the extent that we know, are law-abiding, hard-working seekers of the American dream. And to use this kind of language. Elie Wiesel, the famed Nobel Prize winner, laureate, and a best-selling author, Holocaust survivor, said no human beings are illegal. When you start there with some compassion, yes, it's a terrible problem that we need to get our arms around. Yes, we have to deal with it. But when you start comparing them to what is an illegal alien? I have a vision of, from Mars or Jupiter, an alien coming down. We like to do UFO stories. It's pathetic to try to reduce these seekers of a future to a cliche. And I think that's what President Biden was apologizing for, because it's just too easy.
Yeah,
first of all, it's imprecise.
But
it's
Geraldo,
imprecise. I mean, just excuse me one. Okay, go ahead.
Listen, I take your point. But the problem is right now that we're talking about a man with ties to a violent gang in Venezuela who was here illegally, who was arrested and then released, who allegedly committed this heinous murder. And instead of talking about that serious, crucial issue, we have the president backtracking on using the word illegal in responding to the heckler-in-chief, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do you see what it feels like the semantics and the PC police, it's just a little, is it a little much?
I think that you're absolutely right. It is a little much. And of all people, we don't want to apologize to this thug who has allegedly committed this horrible, horrible crime. But look at him. Think of all the press that this guy has gotten. Do you know that in 2023, there were 131 teenagers and children killed in the state of Georgia by firearms? They were 131 kids. How many articles were written about them? How much did these Congress folk and others who are passing laws in Laken Riley's name, how much did they speak of the real tragedy in this country of Americans killing Americans?
Right.
These groups, it's a kind of communal responsibility that I think is intellectually lazy, and it adds to a kind of pandering racism that I think is very dangerous.
I want to get back to the State of the Union rebuttal by Senator Katie Britt. You tweeted that Katie Britt helped Biden more than Trump. She was too mean, she was overcoached, and she overacted. She's a star in the Senate and the Republican Party. Are we seeing the curse of the State of the Union rebuttal here again?
I don't know. When I first watched it, in fairness, I criticized it for being breathy and overacting. I knew that Saturday Night Live was going to, eviscerate her, as they did. But and the language, what she said, I don't even, have much criticism for her message, which is pretty much the Republican platform, aside from the factual error and using, the anecdote in a way that was incorrect.
It was false.
It was false, yeah. And that was too bad. And whether or not it affects the rest of Senator Britt's career, I don't know. There are, generally speaking, short memories.
Yeah.
But when they can ridicule you, ridicule is the worst weapon for anyone to endure. If you are being ridiculed, it shrinks you. It makes you lack credibility. People look at you as an unserious person, and it's an easy cliche for lazy people to always refer to. But I fear that it is a mark that she will carry for at least the next couple of years.
All right. Meantime,
Elizabeth, that's that's too bad.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.